I think that's pretty fucked up. Oh god, what was that?
That's Tyler calling timeout, and it's 4th and down.
Oh, okay.
No, that is JonTron blowing a rape whistle, then yelling rape.
Oh.
Who the fuck is
that the comeback
JonTron?
and kick me this?
It's the guy that. Okay, ever heard of the game Grumps?
Somewhat. I don't watch him.
Okay, he was one of the original members. It used to be John and Aaron. Then John left the show, and then now Danny's in his place. So John was like, for like the first year and a half, almost 2 years of the channel / show. John was one of the one of the founders and one of the main cast people. Then he left to go. He literally moved across the country, making it impossible to continue. Also, I guess there might have been like a small falling out between him and Aaron, but that's speculation and has never been confirmed nor denied by either party. And anyways, so that's I guess the easiest way to say who John has his own thing, JonTron, his own show that he's had for years. But like for him, he will find really obscure like shitty movies or old classic video games that were just also really obscure and like why anyone would even bother making it in the first place, sort of thing. So, and he would just sort of play them and give his opinion on it, but also just like spend a lot of time like questioning and yelling at it. The thing that little snippet was from, back in the 1980s, there was this very heavy Christian-based comic series made by this one guy, and I guess later on and after time had gone by, these people got the rights and even the stamp of approval from the guy himself to create a movie adaptation of one of his comics. This comic, little comic series section was specifically called Darkest Dungeon, which essentially was the Christian warning against playing stuff like Dungeons and Dragons, or rather Darkest Dungeon, which was a subsection of Dungeons and Dragons that had its own rule set, saying, all the satanic shit that goes along with it and how it leads people to fucking worship the devil or, like other nefarious beings and shit like Cthulhu or anything like that. Someone actually, they ended up making a fucking movie about it, this comic that this guy made about that. Essentially using scare tactics things towards Christians about playing Dungeons and Dragons. And it's this really shitty movie. Well, these two like very hardcore Christian girls go to see what this is like, and the way they portray people sitting there and playing this version of Dungeons and Dragons is, it looks essentially like an underground frat party sort of thing, with like all sorts of like popular people all coming together being like, who's ready to play RPGs? Woo! Like
they've never. Wow, nobody's really gone to a D&D game before, because that's not how it's like.
Yeah, and then so you have that, and then
I've played D&D.
And there's like rave music playing. It's like red and like flashing lights and stuff. And
where is this D&D party? I want to join. Jesus.
And so, and so these two Christian girls are like, oh, I don't think we really belong here. So they get ready to leave, and the big jock guy who's like organizing this shit And that they're like, he's like, hey, you know, what's up? And there's like, he's like, oh no, he says, what's up? I'm so, who are you? And they're like, we're leaving. And he's like, hi, leaving. And he gets ready to, you know, sort of do his pickup line thing or whatever. But the moment he's just like, that he says, hi, leaving, I'm blank. The moment he gets to I'm, immediately it switches back to John, who just blows the rape whistle that says, right! Because it's just like stopping them from leaving. And it was fucking hilarious, because he's essentially just like, obviously these people don't know anything about Dungeons and Dragons or any of the people that play these games, because this is not at all how any of this shit goes. And I guess
I want to go to this D&D game because I want to play this D.
These two hardcore Christian girls end up becoming like goth chicks and shit. Like one of them becomes really into playing this RPG game and starts really dealing with all the satanic shit. And I guess later on in the film they summon fucking Cthulhu or something. Also, she starts turning lesbian for the other chick, and like it's just this really weird and stupid film.
Where was this D&D game? I would love to see hot lesbian on lesbian action.
I wouldn't say that the most attractive, but they're not bad. But I mean, yeah, it's just like
no lesbian on lesbian action. No, I shouldn't say that because there's bad lesbian and lesbian on action.
Exactly, that's why I'm saying.
Correct.
That's why I'm saying. But yeah, no. So like, it's this really shitty film.
Oh no.
And then there's Jaime for whatever reason. But yeah, it's this really shitty film that these people made, and I'm just like, why?
Because they're Christians.
Like super hardcore Christians that were like bashing and trying to fearmonger their way out of people playing role-playing games.
Role-playing games
like,
is the devil trying to use it.
It's so stupid. I don't have to explain it again, but essentially there was a Christian group that created a shitty film adaptation of an old comic that was fear-mongering towards trying to get people to not play role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons or Darkest Dungeons or any of their subcategories, because it would lead to satanic rituals and other shit like that because of the magic and other stuff involved. And it's literally, actually, Christians were fucking throwing hissy fits over Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of the fact that spell cards weren't called spell cards, they were called magic cards.
Wait,
so they changed it to spell cards.
Who just joined our group right now?
Jaime from work. Some toys and electronics.
Oh, hi Jaime. I haven't spoken to you in a while. Oh, was it you who sent me that friend request? Well, send me another one, because apparently I'm an idiot.
So, yeah, no. So, in short, yes, it's this really shitty film created by Christians having an entirely ill-proportioned view on what role-playing games and people getting together to play role-playing games is like.
They don't know that there's... It depends on... Oh my god.
Is that the way they were portraying that these, the film starred these two hardcore Christian girls, like they were very faithful and everything. And so Jaime, what do you imagine when you imagine people getting together to play something like Dungeons and Dragons? And how many people would be involved in this? I don't know, but I'm saying, so you
the maximum is 10.
You understand though that it's a small gathering of friends who want to play a game. the way they were portraying it in this film, when these two women were invited to go see what a role-playing game was about, is essentially the equivalent of a jock frat party with like red lights and flashing lights, rave music playing, and it's a massive crowd of like 30 people. With a tiny table in the center of like a couple people that are like playing the game, and like this one jock guy is the guy that's sort of like getting everyone together and getting everyone hyped up and shit, and you know, like all that sort of shit. I'm just like, what? What the fuck am I watching?
Jesus Christ. He ran for a long time away from that fucking Nazi.
He can win this for us, but he's just got to be a little bit more careful.
So yeah, no, that's the thing I'm ranting about, is this shitty film adaptation about this hardcore Christian guy who created a comic series back in the 80s that was trying to fearmonger the whole, like, during the creation of like Dungeons and Dragons, Darkest Dungeons, and all the versions. He created a comic back then, and it wasn't until like sometime in the last 20 years, because it's got like, in certain areas, decent quality editing, like certain things that I wouldn't, like, people wouldn't really see or do in terms of techniques or technology-wise until like the last 10 years. So it's a recent film by some means, but they made a film adaptation of it.
The only thing,
it's this garbage.
the only thing I can think of is somebody made it for like a joke. It's like how they remade Reefer Madness. Have you ever watched that?
No.
It's based off of an old 1940s or 1950s film that was supposed to show you the horrors of smoking pot. And oh my god, like the way people were acting in that old school fucking movie, they weren't smoking pot, they were doing meth. Or like they were fucking speedballing. They were not smoking marijuana. I have hung out with tons of fucking potheads. I have yet to see one twitchy as fuck going, I need my fix, man. I need my fix. I'll suck your dick for a joint. And they remade this movie like, I don't know, early 2000s to show how fucking stupid people were back in the day.
See, you say that because the remake film was supposed to be satirical. This film is serious.
Senpai, I saw you at school today.